Imagine there's no heaven. All right, straight off the bat, Gal Godet, whatever your name is, that's not the best song to start off with. All these people dying. Imagine there's no heaven when you die from a cough. Maybe sing Stairway to Heaven with all your famous friends. I'll be honest with you, that video still tickles me wrong. Is my audio on right now? I feel like I can hear a little reflection. No? All right, cool. This is the behind the scenes stuff that happens in the podcast. But Gal Godet, that video just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know if you guys have seen it. You can go over to Gal Godet's Instagram page where she gave a very pretentious speech and was like, I just saw, these people in Italy, and they were singing from Stair, first off, she says, I'm feeling very philosophical. Oh, now she's a philosophizer. Okay, cool. She says, I saw these people in their balconies, and they were all quarantined, and they were singing to each other, and it was just beautiful. And she goes, and it gave me an idea or something. And then she just goes, imagine there's no heaven. And then she cuts to another celebrity actress, starts singing the entire song of Imagine. And there's a couple people, bars, sounded great. But I'm just like, that's the most pretentious thing. Like, what were you trying to accomplish with the video is what is weird to me. Like, what is cool about the video of the Italians singing from their balconies is that it was real people going through real situations. They were actually on lockdown. Not a bunch of fucking celebrities tucked away in their $1 million mansions and just fucking not really dealing with the effects of this at all. They were real people that were trying to pump up each other. The way you should have done that video was you start off, if you have to be in it, you can do your little imagine there's a heaven, change the lyrics, make people a little more optimistic. And then cut to people's home videos that are dealing with this, of them singing it. And you promote it on your page. No one gives a shit about actors during a time like this. I'm sorry. But there's a line in the sand right now. And it's between entertainers who actually entertain and provide a service. And then there's the people who perform other people's stuff and don't know how to create things. They just rehearse things. Like, that's the thing an actor does. And this is no offense to my actor friends. Listen, do your thing. But there's like an alienation that happens with people when they get successful at acting. They're interesting people because they play pretend all day and they never, it's such an interesting thing. And just the Hollywood machine in general is such a weird fucking thing. But it just felt very self-rewarding and I didn't see the point of it. Like, what was it supposed to do? Like, oh my God, all the celebrities, all the people we watch in those things are doing this. They're singing this. And it was like, I don't know. It would have been cool to see actual people who are dealing with coronavirus sing the song. Like, I think that would have been the move. Having regular people sing it and then you post it. That would have been dope. Maybe get some Italians in there. Maybe get some Chinese people in there. I do like the memes of everybody posting of Donald Trump when he says, why are you calling it the Chinese flu? And he just goes, because it's from China. The way he says China. I don't know why that's so funny to me. But we're not here to get political. Even though I just bashed Hollywood. Fuck them. We don't need them. And that's what the thing is all about, all of this. I'm on day 8 of quarantine. Got a little sinus infection going on. Trying to remind myself, I went back through my Instagram memories that I get sick around this time every single year. My Instagram memories shown 2018 had a bad sinus infection. My Instagram 2019 memories at this time had a bad sinus infection. So I'm trying to tell myself that's all that's happening right now, is that you just are getting a sinus infection. Because I've been on quarantine, all right? I've been on quarantine. I think it has something to do with the pollen, the spring. Happens every year. And that's the thing. If I do have it, I'm quarantining anyway. Okay, I'm not going anywhere. If I got to go get groceries or something, I'll wear masks and gloves and just to be safe. or I'll just have groceries deliver. But I'm doing my part. Staying quarantined. Hashtag stay at home. This could be a lot worse, you know? And even if it does get me, listen, if I don't make it through, I've had a hell of a life. And I want you guys to know that. This is going to be the footage they use at my digital funeral. When they stream it, this will be the footage where they're like, you like how my voice is getting worse? Oh, God. This is getting real. It's getting real. But this will be the footage they use in my funeral of me being like, I had a great life, guys. And then they'll cut it with like shots of me standing in the water on the beach. And then it will be like, in the arms of the angels. I don't want a song like that. I want DMX. What these bitches want from it. Gonna have to bleep it. But yeah, I get sick every time, and I don't even know the rabbit hole I went down. I lost the original thought. That's how far we got down that rabbit hole. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Tuesday afternoon right now. You might be wondering, if you're watching, what's the drink that you have in your hand? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just listening, this is a Corona Bomb, okay? It's a special immunity drink that I've created, patent pending. The Corona Bomb, 4 ounces of water. This is more like 6. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 drops of oregano oil, 2 drops of vitamin D3 K2, half a teaspoon of trace minerals, and some cayenne pepper. And you know what? Cheers. I'm going to drink this right now live with you guys before I die. Bars. Spicy hot bars. But that's how we're rocking it in the quarantine, you know? Welcome to the bunker. Oh, man. What else is going on besides my throat hurting, make me paranoid? The news will make you paranoid, you know? And that's why I have... the panic in the media is something that I don't like it. And then what I don't like is, like, here's a tip. If you're trying to just stay normal in this shit and you're trying not to freak out, because if you just read the news all day, you're going to freak out. Here's my pro tip. If you have to stay informed with your area, then go to the official place that is saying the rules, whether that's your governor, your mayor, whatever that is. There's a website that you can go for where you're local, and you'll get the information that you need as a citizen of that county. Don't go to Twitter, okay? You can get some good news there, but you can't read the comments. That's the pro tip. Don't read the comments on social media, because those fucks don't know what they're talking about. You're going to go down some rabbit holes of, oh my God, well, this happened and blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to those, okay? It's like you don't listen to comments normally in the real world, like when on someone's post. You don't go down those rabbit holes and take what they're saying serious when they're commenting about regular shit. So don't do that, because I catch myself even reading the comments and I'm like, oh, great. It is so much worse than we thought. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm sure someone's listening right now and they're like, wow, Evan is kind of showing every symptom for coronavirus. This is the Coronavirus Chronicles. Apparently, corona bombs cause coronavirus. Nah, I'm pretty sure what I have is sinus infection. And either way, I'm going to be good, baby. I'm going to be good. I'm a survivor. You guys forget that I'm a vasectomy baby. I had to fight just to make it to this world, you know? Parents didn't want me. Family didn't want me. Financially, they shouldn't have had me, straight up. But you know what? I said, nah, I got some shit to say. I got a podcast one day to have, and I'm going to need to come out of here. Where's that fucking egg? I was in there soldering shit, reconnecting, finding my own pathway, just fucking doing it, crawling on my own little spermy arms, just boom, 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 riding my other little spermy siblings, linking them up like horses and riding them like a chariot. Yeah, get me to the egg. Yeah. There was a bunch of us in there. and I manipulated all of them. And I was like, yeah, we're all going to get through. I have this special thing where we can all be born. We're going to be in, she's going to be the first octomom. And then once we got to the egg, took them all out. Sorry, kids. Shouldn't have been so gullible, Had to do what I had to do to get here. So coronavirus ain't taking me out, for sure. No. I'm a fucking survivor. You can't kill me. I don't give a shit. You still kill me, I'll come back in a different form. I don't give a fuck. I'll be a goddamn seagull just fucking squawking over people, eating popcorn and shit. Oh, man. I don't know what's going on. People doing, and listen, I'm older, okay? I don't know if, and that's the thing, is that older people are on social media now. Now there are your grandparents, your parents, friends, they're all on Facebook and everything like that and migrating to Instagram, and it's fine. It's fine. You guys are welcome. And I'm talking like in the age 60 category. And then you have entertainers and comedians. It's like they're the ones that dominate social media, I feel. And that might be ignorance of my own perspective on social media and what my world is online. But I feel like right now, 50-year-olds are kind of the influencers that I at least pay attention to on social media. But then there's me. I'm 32, okay? And in some ways, I acknowledge that social media is really for the kids in some ways. But I think it's evolved past that, because back when I was in high school or college, it was kind of a different thing where it started as college kids only on Facebook. So there, by just creation, it was just purely a college thing. So it was for the kids. But the reason I'm saying all this is I feel like it's changed, but I still acknowledge it's for the kids. Okay, I get it. This is their world, social media, all that stuff. But not really. That shit started with me, fam. That's my place, bars. But I start seeing all these challenge videos. And I'm fine with it. If you guys want to do your little push-ups, do your push-ups. If you guys want to post certain pictures, I get it. People, listen, everybody deals with things different, and I'm fine with that. I have nothing against people posting their challenge videos and then posting, their surveys and questionnaires. Hell, I post podcast questions. I post memes. I make memes. Yeah, bars. So I don't give a shit what people do. But here's my only thing about the challenge videos. Make it a challenge. Who the fuck is being challenged doing 10 push-ups? Who is being challenged posting a picture? You can find a better way to do this. If you want to make a challenge video, I challenge you to make an N95 mask or some kind of mask in general that actually works. Post a picture of it and send it to the hospital. That's a real way that you can actually challenge, because guess what you're going to have to learn how to do? You're going to have to learn how to sew, and that's going to be a challenge. I'm seeing beefcake athletes doing push-ups, 10 push-ups. I'm like, okay, bro, you're diesel as hell. Of course you're going to be able to knock out them 10 push-ups. But how's your sewing game? Okay? What's your mask game like? You're going to have to engineer some shit, follow some instructions. That's a challenge. All right? So if anybody, I think that should be a challenge. And maybe there's a way to create it here, and we can do it. Challenge you to make some face masks and send them to the local hospital. Okay? Send them in. Put them in a box, drop them off, whatever you got to do. Maybe you and your friends that challenge in the same area, you guys somehow get them all together and send them in one package. Here. Just don't cough on them. I think that would be great. I think if you want to just, and that's just, I get that. That's just like the one thing that the annoying kid always says in class is like, well, maybe we should do something that's more educational. I get that. I'm already getting better energy and my head's a little clear from the Corona bomb. So keep doing it. I think a fun challenge would be making people actually do a cappella karaoke, where you have to sing a song and really try to sing it without trying to be funny, where you just got to hit it serious and put everything you have to, as if it's a real performance and it's life or death. And you have to sing it a cappella with no funny faces and really try to sound good. And then you have to tag everybody in it, and then they have to try to sing it. But if you try to be funny, it ruins the challenge. Because anybody can be like, por ti volaré. No, you have to really be like, por ti volaré. I got a sore throat, so it's not going to sound too good. Bars. This is something that I wanted to really talk about. Something serious. I know we've been having fun and joking so far in this episode. But at times like this in life, I think it's important to focus on what is important and what really matters in the big picture. And I know there's a lot of people that are worried. A lot of people are scared. There's a lot of panic that things could get worse. There's people stockpiling toilet paper and water, generators, and all these things. And they're really scared. And I'm being 100% honest here. They're very scared. And it breaks my heart. And a lot of people feel like it's going to be survival of the strongest. And I wanted to give some people some reassurance and to do my part in hopefully diverting some of this fear into, assurance. And so you can relax. And I just want to say, and I want to announce it here right now, big announcement. I, Evan Lopez, on March 23rd, 2020, I'm announcing my peace treaty between vegans and boneless wing eaters. Till further notice. Okay? This isn't a forever thing. Just know once we have a bigger monster at hand. Okay? I think we need a ceasefire and join up and attack a common enemy in coronavirus. So I would like to officially state I have no beef with the gang of vegans and the cult of boneless wing eaters. Listen, we might never see eye to eye on any of this. You have your belief systems and you're malnourished, but old habits, okay? You're going to have to give me some time to grow and evolve through this experience, but I extend the olive branch to vegans. Try not to eat it. And also, if in a life or death situation, I would be willing to slice a little bit of my bone-in wing off for someone who only eats boneless wings and pass it off to you as you go about your journey and, probably going to die because if you're eating boneless wings, you probably aren't too bright. And that's not me attacking you right now. I'm just saying, okay, you're going to make a lot of bad decisions. And, in thinking about it is that it's kind of good to have vegans around during this time because you guys eat a lot of stuff that expires quick, and you're not going to be eating the meat. So I want you to be rest assured, I'm not going to be a Titan ruler, okay? I'm not going to be a Titan ruler. And I just want you to know that I'm happy and I'm welcoming you into the community and to the brethren, because I just know that if you do have a dog and eventually things do break down really far where there's no more food, you will be first on the line to have to donate your dog to the cause, as just so we can trust you. And that'll be either by eating it or it might be one of my personal pets in my palace. But just know there are some things that we're going to have to figure out. You got to earn your keep. One strict rule for vegans, don't bring any couscous. Nothing soy or tofu will be allowed. You just have to leave that on the road before you come in. All right? Just know that. And boneless wing eaters, obviously you guys aren't allowed condiments. You guys will eat in a completely different dining hall. And this is just me being honest, I can't look at it. I can't see you actually eating them. You can do it in peace. You guys will eat in your own little quarters, which will be a barn that has been, what is it called? Repurposed. You guys will live in the barn with the hay and animals. And yeah, no condiments. You guys don't get ranch. You guys don't get blue cheese. You guys don't get honey mustard. Don't even ask for ketchup, or don't even mention barbecue sauce to me. Okay? But as well, you guys will have to earn your keep as well. But all I'm saying is we are making progress. We are all working together on this to defeat a common enemy. So I love you guys, and welcome to the brethren. All right, what else we got going on? I'm glad we got that out of the way. I'm trying to kind of detox from social media and kind of reading about coronavirus and everything. It's hard not to, because I'm literally text all day, different articles and stuff like that. And some of it's good. I have some people, I won't tell them not to text me articles and everything, because it's usually pretty helpful. But as far as like scrolling Facebook or Instagram and Twitter, like I'm about to delete Twitter because it's too much. I'm overcooked with it. And at this point, I don't think it benefits me to keep reading every little thing that comes out about it, because you'll start wanting to live in a bunker, and it's like I didn't watch the news before because it didn't affect my life in a good way. If you just read about, like, I really believe, and I don't want to get too woo-ha on you guys, but I really believe what you focus on becomes your reality. If you constantly are looking at things and seeing only the bad in them, that's kind of all your world is compromised of. And your perspective is pretty much all you have in this world, is whether you're going to choose to be cynical or be optimistic on situations. And I choose to be optimistic. I choose to stay positive and try to be happy. And there was a point in my life where I was the opposite, where I was going through hard things in my life, and I didn't choose to look at the good side of it. I chose to allow myself to become a victim, and kind of like when you go through certain things, you give yourself an excuse to not have to push through and to not have to deal with certain things that you haven't dealt with in your life. And the only one thing that really helped me was my dad would tell me. And it was when, I don't think he knew that there was a lot going on with me. Maybe he did. But when I was taking pills and drinking, and just like I was fighting so much and just all this rage inside of me. He would always say, your problems, whether what you do tonight or whatever you do to escape them, you're still going to wake up tomorrow and they're still going to be there. And it was one of those things that stuck with me. And I've kind of applied it to everything. It's like, you can't be a person who sweeps things under the rug. You can't. You can't always be hoping to deal with things tomorrow, because every day that you don't deal with things, it gets stronger and stronger and harder to break that routine and habit. Or you get people too comfortable, whether it's a person that you let slide with certain things. You let them get way too comfortable with talking to you a certain way, where after years go by, it's almost like you're the one that's wrong when you finally talk to them about it and confront them like, hey, you can't talk to me this way, and you've been disrespectful for years. They're almost like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? Because that's become the normal that you've allowed. So like, that's one of those things where like you have to just confront things and you have to just deal with them, because if you keep putting them off and trying to self-medicate or whatever you're doing in your life, it's just going to get worse and get harder to rip that scab off, if you will. Bars. Therapeutical bars. I look at all this with everything going on as an opportunity for people to work on the things they need to work on, and also for people to finally spend time on the things that they want to achieve, like whether that's create a business, whether that's deal with their own mind. And like, that's the thing, is like, everybody should be taking this time. You can relax and binge and everything, but that's going to be very bad, because I'm trying, like, you have to actually maintain a routine and have goals and proceed in like a habitual way. That's one thing that I've been focusing on, is still treating my Sundays as like a big rest day, Sunday fun day. I watch movies, I chill out, I don't work out, I don't put out videos, whatever. because it breaks up the monotony of like all of a sudden I go into a repeat cycle of what fucking day is this? So like today I still wake up, I still make the bed, I journal, I read, and then I look at my phone finally. Like I don't look at it until I've done those tasks. And then I start answering emails or writing out my to-do list. And it's like, I usually write the to-do list the night before for what I want to get accomplished. And then I finalize it in the morning. And that gives me like 4 things wiped off my to-do list that I'm like, oh shit, I've already done this many things. I'm going to just hammer through what I need to do on this list. So that's been a huge thing, is maintaining a routine, maintaining a checklist, making it realistic, because I would get too far down that rabbit hole of putting too much on my plate and then being upset with myself at night that I didn't accomplish it. But it's huge for me to still have goals every single day, and it's not the same goals over and over and over again. They're changing based on the day. Like Tuesday, Thursday, I put out a podcast. Mondays, I'll try to put out a video. Wednesdays, I'll try to put out a video. And then Fridays, whatever. But then the weekend, I don't put videos or podcast out. So it's like I maintain my own schedule. And I think it's a great opportunity. It's interesting because I don't know how things are going to change and go back to the way they were. Like business models are going to change, and we're kind of going to see what is really pandemic proof. And this might seem like a silly thing to be like, well, this never happens, but it's like, what's an essential business that we actually need, and what can survive, and what do we not need? Where do we trim the fat? And I think that's going to be something that, if it really turns out that we're, on quarantine and have some kind of laws in place for the next 6 months, it's going to be very interesting, and everything's going to change from entertainment to, food delivery, restaurants, and it's just going to be interesting to see the new landscape of the way things are. If this all clears up in a week or two, which it won't, I think things would go back to normal. But I think at this point, things aren't going to go back to normal. I think some things are going to change, and it's kind of like there's people that live through the Depression that even once they get into their old age, they still harbor stuff. They still stock up on things and hide things from the family because they're worried. They remember how it was. And I think this could be a thing where we kind of adopt some of that things, maybe not that extreme, but we adopt certain things that we don't go back to. And I think it's good. And I think this is a good test run for what could come. I think if there's another pandemic that is much, 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 much worse, we did horrible on this one. I think we need to act faster. I think we need to take it more serious. And I think if anything, this was a wake-up call that we need better systems in place, and we need to be a little more on top of things and informed. But yeah, I think we're being good. I think we're doing good. It's not going to be a long podcast today. I did have a few questions. Someone asked me about Netflix binging. Netflix binging, I don't do it. I can't do it. I have to control myself because I know what that will lead to. I only allow like a couple hours at night for stuff like that, because I'll go down the rabbit hole and then I start having unfulfillment, and then I feel like a piece of shit about myself. So I have to really limit how much I do. So with Netflix binging, I can't do it. I got to use my time a little bit better. But at night, I'll get into it. I had a couple questions about conspiracies and everything like that. One was about the government creating COVID-19. I mean, all the proof is going towards this was actually created by an animal, a little pangolin or a bat, perhaps. This is something actually that I thought this needs to change. I don't know if you've seen the wet markets in China, but it's insane. It's insane that the health code violations, humanitarian violations, just being a decent person, the violations They treat these animals terrible. There's dogs being cooked alive. There's animals being skinned alive. It's the worst health practices I've ever seen in my life. And this is going on now. Not fucking 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. Now. And this is something that if you research infectious diseases that jump from animals to humans are what is going to be the next pandemic. There's one currently with deers that I don't want to scare you, but the wasting disease that pretty much churns deers into zombies. They start having dementia, hallucinations, and it literally starts churning their brain cells into mush. And they're scared that in a few years that could jump eventually, 10 years from now. And it's like we need pandemic protection in place. Like we need to start taking all this stuff serious. And I think China, and other places that aren't practicing like good health codes and treatment of animals, I think we need to take care of that. This kind of shit is not okay. And just even in America, it's a nice cultivation for disease. When you have so many animals in close quarters, and it's like, I wouldn't be a vegan. I couldn't. But I get when vegans are against factory farming and all of that stuff, I get it. And listen, it's huge for me. And one day, once I'm able to, I will be completely off of the factory farming network. I won't, when I can hunt and fish and provide completely for my family through that, I won't go into factory farming. I won't use it at all because I think it's a disgusting practice. The things that they do to animals, the fear that they have. And just from a sanitary perspective, they're breeding grounds for disease. So I think that's one thing that I've taken away from all of this in a wake-up call is we have to start focusing on the practice of a healthier way to cultivate meat, you know? And that's kind of a thing that I think is coming out of this is that we're all realizing, at least some of us, that we're not as prepared as we would like to be, or we're not as self-sufficient as we would like to be. And I think by people becoming more independent and not needing, these factory farmers, and they really take it upon themselves to secure food for their family or whatever it is, I think it's going to be a better thing for all of us. I think people are actually going to wake up from this. And that's the thing is, like, there was another question about the New World Order as a topic. And I see a lot of conspiracies. There are legit conspiracies out there, but there's also some that are crazy. Not saying this one, the New World Order, is crazy. But sometimes I hear people talking about this and the government and all of that. And then they start talking about lizard people. Hey, if you bring lizard people into this at all, I can't take you serious. I can't take any topic you say serious, because if you're really talking about how there's lizard people that are creating all this and they're feeding off of our fear, can't take you serious, because we're in two different worlds. But here's actually why I don't think this was created by the government to get more control from us or get more control of us, because people are scared from martial law and that they're going to take over and they're going to take away all our civil rights. Listen, martial law does happen, and it does happen for a reason. And there's no need for that if people actually are being smart and they're staying in their places and following the guidelines. I think the last time martial law took place was Pearl Harbor, and it wasn't even for something like this, which is crazy. But it could happen. It's because people don't follow guidelines. You got people still on spring break in Florida when it's supposed to be shut down. And 4 of those fucks, I saw an article, 4 teenagers in spring break got the corona. You know what? Fuck them. Okay? Fuck them, because they put so many people at risk, and now they're putting their grandparents and their parents and everybody else at risk. And they didn't need that. So fuck you to all 4 of you. Fuck you to the power of 4. All right? But here's my big thing about the whole government doing this. If they did something like this, it's backfiring completely, because what people are realizing is it isn't these idols that they need to worship. It isn't these celebrities and all this dumb shit. It's making people wake up and be more in tune with what their priorities should be, what they need, what is important, who is important, because before, I think a lot of people were focused on celebrities. A lot of people were focused on, whoever it is, musicians and entertainers as their gurus and like people they looked up to. The politicians aren't in the power in the public's eye. They're not the people that they look up to and who they take serious. The people who they take serious now and look up to are the doctors, the nurses, the first responders, the people working at the grocery store, the truck drivers. If anything, this is backfiring because people are realizing that it's the people in your community that are the most important, not the people at top, not these dumb we are the world people, these imagine all the people, there's no heaven, dumb. They're realizing that those aren't the people that they should be focusing on. And I think it is going to make everybody become more independent on themselves, and figure out a way to do that. And I think it's actually, instead of people getting lulled to sleep or becoming sheeple, people are going to be focusing on evolving their business to be able to be pandemic proof. And then this is actually giving a lot of power back to people. Okay. People are realizing it and they're learning more, getting new skills, and they're not just, needing the suckle on the teat. And I think that's going to be something that is going to come out of this. There's going to be a new level of independence, I feel. And no matter what, just remember at the end of the day, I love you, and I'll see you Thursday.